What is going on, everybody? Happy Monday night. Monday Night Rants. Yes, Monday Night Rants is here again on unlucky or lucky August the 13th, 2018. I think this is like our 12th episode or something. We're really going on strong. With me today is Anthony Zaragoza. You know what? We're going from the start. We're going to bring him on. We're going to have some fun. And why not? We're going to have some fun tonight. So, Anthony, what's going on, buddy?
Hey, man, this is probably the worst decision you've ever did.
I don't know. I've made pretty bad decisions.
It's one thing to have me on for 30 minutes, but a full hour, it's going to be bad.
Yeah, well, we're gonna have some fun here. I'm gonna turn you up a little bit. I think you're a little loud. Talk to me. Say something. Say something funny.
Sonny Michelle.
Oh, that. Oh.
Let's get it on.
Nuh-uh, not funny. Sonny Michelle, of course, did have liquid drained from his knee. His knee drained or something, right? And he's gonna be out for the preseason, so we're not gonna be able to see him run over people. Instead, we get to see Jeremy Hill and the crew of outcasts they have there at running back. Real quick, I want to give a shout out to fellow left-handers around the world today, because today is Left-Handers Day, and I myself am a left-hander. And I got one thing to say: banks and anywhere where you have to go, post office, put a pen on a chain on the left side too, please. Please, for left-handers everywhere, put a pen on chain on both sides. Don't discriminate against left-handers, banks and scissor companies. Yes, left-handers unite. Happy Left-Handers Day, everyone. Anthony, are you left-handed?
No, I'm not a weirdo like you.
I knew there was something wrong with you. I knew
See?
there was something wrong with you.
You know, it's night and day with you. You and me, we're just polar opposites, is what it is.
That is it. Actually, we are yin and yang, or night and day. Or I don't want to go any farther than that because I could offend some people. We're not going to do that tonight. Hopefully, that's not in the cards, anyways. We are going to talk about week one of the preseason. What a week one it was. There wasn't as many injuries as there has been in recent years in week one. Thank God. There was a couple of big ones we'll talk about, and also the amount of penalties was absurd. There was so many penalties during all the games. It was crazy. Like, the Chargers themselves had like 18 for over like 180 yards or something. It was absolutely crazy. So there was a lot of stuff going on there as well. And Jesse, by the way, Jesse Masigian just chatted. He said, "Yum, Dad." I want to give a shout out. It's actually his birthday. It is his birthday. So happy birthday, Jesse. Happy birthday, Jesse. Woo!
Attaboy, Jesse. Happy birthday, bud.
Yeah, good guy, that guy. He has his own, what is it, Switch or Stitch or Twitch or one of those. He's a big gamer. And check out his channel. He's a Red Fury. So check him out. He's a good guy. Happy birthday, Jesse. So yeah, we're going to talk about preseason. We're going to talk about some baseball. I know it's getting that time of year where people are coming all over the place, are coming up, and everyone's like, who's this guy? Why is he pitching? Oakland A's are actually battling to actually maybe make a playoff spot, which has surprised everyone. The Diamondbacks and Dodgers are still battling, so the Ass Clown outfit is still up in the air, which is I'm okay with. And the Boston Red Sox just destroyed everybody. So there you go. There's baseball in a nutshell. Mike Trout is actually on the DL as well. A lot of injuries going on right now. You know, the Angels really have nothing to play for anymore at this point. They were in it first half of the season. Now they're out. I don't see Ohtani pitching the rest of the year. I know there were some reports that came on the weekend he may pitch. That'd be the dumbest thing that the Angels could possibly do, is let that man go out there and pitch when nothing is on the line. Do you agree? Wouldn't that be stupid?
Oh, beyond. But you know what? They are the Angels, so you never know.
That is true. They are the Angels. So sorry, Justin. I know he's an Angels fan. We're going to accept calls a little later. The calls will come in. I'll be able to screen them and everything myself here. If you have any questions, you can call in. We'll get you on the show. If you want to troll us, that's fine. I'm going to destroy you on my button board. So if you troll me, I will destroy you. Yeah, that's a challenge. That's a challenge.
Let's get it
on. I got DMX on my side. Yeah, that's right. Uh-huh. So, yeah, ask real questions about sports, people. Don't be stupid. Don't be childish. Don't be one of those people that goes and looks at someone's tweet from when they were 18. Don't be dumb.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Yeah. So, shall we actually talk about sports? Oh, real quick. The Premier League. I'm a huge Liverpool fan, and soccer started over the weekend. I watched most of the games. I actually woke up on Sunday, Anthony, at 5 o'clock in the morning. And went and watched the Liverpool West Ham game with a bunch of buddies over at a local place here that early in the morning. I was tired, and a Red Bull did not do me justice. And Liverpool won 4-0. So that was exciting. So that kept me up. And they're in first place because they scored more goals than anyone else. So there you go. So there's my Premier League wrap update for this night. And I promise you we'll go the full hour. I know we're a little late. We're trying to wrap up some stuff. You know, we keep on trying new things every week. We're trying this call thing. We're trying, all sorts of fun stuff. So sorry if we're a little late, but we promise we'll give you the full show in at its retrospective time, I guess, from now on. Although, what's really bothering me about this show?
Let me hear it.
One thing, and it's not you, although it may bother some people, but I hate the fact that it's called Monday Night Rants and it's on at 9 p.m. Pacific, but we actually have East Coast listeners and viewers, and it's actually Tuesday where they are. I know a big fan of ours, Chris Diaz, who's actually in our league, is on the East Coast, so I guess it bothers me that it's Tuesday, and I really don't want to change the time because of Monday Night Football and everything, but man, it bugs me. That's all. That's just my rant of the night right there. I'm ranting on myself for making the time, I guess.
No, it makes sense because, there's a lot of East Coast guys, like you said, one of our listeners over there, and for the most part, everything in the media is East Coast based, so there's probably a lot of people who are thinking that. Like, what are these dummies doing? It's Tuesday at midnight.
Monday Night Rants is midnight on Tuesday. They're like, like politically correct and shit. I don't like it.
You know it.
I don't like it. We're still Monday Night Rants because where we live, it's Monday. And because of football and everything, we have to be. So,
West Coast.
All right. Well, big week of football. Football finally came on Thursday. We had 10 games or something crazy on Thursday to kick it off. I try to watch as much as I can, and over the weekend we only had a 2 and 2. No, only 2 on Friday and 2 on Saturday. That kind of sucked. But I guess this weekend it kind of goes back into full again. I saw a lot of stuff that really intrigued me and a lot of stuff that I hated. I did like that the Chargers defense absolutely destroyed Josh Rosen. That was quite entertaining.
Well, I would hope so.
Yeah, poor guy. Goddamn. He was running all over the place, getting hit. He made some good throws though, while getting hit. He stood tall. But the Chargers defense, they look dominant, and even their second team. Man, I hate to rub it in, but they're going to be good this year. And that was without Bosa, they were, yeah. So Derwin James came in though on the second team. That probably won't help anyone that's a backup on an offense, but yeah, it was awesome. So let's play a little game I like to call Believe It or Not. Yeah, Believe It or Not. We did this with baseball. We're going to do it with the preseason, week 1. We'll probably do it next week as well, and then the week after that, and then we'll also do some jumping up on drafts and everything. After we do our draft, we'll break it down next Monday, sober, and have some fun with that as well. So let me pull up my notes here. We'll talk.
Who's going to be sober?
No, Monday. The Monday we could review the draft after we.
I'm still going to be dead by that point.
Yeah. Jeez, man, you're gonna be the one that drafts Geis, aren't you?
Yeah.
This is not a dynasty league, Anthony.
Get him out of my head, because if you keep saying his name, I will draft him somehow in the 10th round, and everybody's gonna laugh.
And what has sucked is I actually done some mock drafts in Yahoo, and they still have Geis in there. So and DeMarco Murray. And they just sit there, and you're like, oh, my God, take them off. It's driving me crazy. I like when I see my list and everything, and they just sit there. And then, of course, if you're in a mock draft and you're a Autobot or you're on auto draft, you get them. And I'm like, come on. It's terrible. So
They
be
deserve
careful.
it. If you're autoing, you deserve Geis and
Yeah.
Hunter Henry and Des Bryant and all these guys on your team. You deserve it.
Justin Watson says, my ears are ringing. Somebody say Angels? Yes. But if you heard what we said about the Angels, we hope that they that they don't let Ohtani pitch anymore, Justin. So keep him off. Josh Stanhill, one of a regular here, he's on vacation. He chimed in and said, oh, hell no.
Oh, hell no.
So that's for Josh. And he also mentioned Rashad Penny, who we'll talk about in a little bit. So good. Bring the questions in. Keep on talking. Join the show with us. Join the show. Have some fun, people. It's Monday night. I mean, what else do you have to do right now? Besides probably a lot.
Besides sleep or do a lot.
Besides sleep or sit here and watch two guys rant about sports all night. But hey, it is draft season right now, and I am excited that it is draft season. Really excited, but I'm not going to do the read yet. But I will do fantasyalarm.com/Rouse if you go there. I also just cut my Kenyon Drake player profile video today. It should be up by in the morning. Most of the guys I've done the player profiles for, I've liked. I did Melvin Gordon. I did Greg Olson. I did Devontae Adams. And then I did Kenyon Drake. And I have an Adam Thielen coming later this week as well. I liked all the other guys. You have to see and hear what I say about Kenyon Drake. Do you want to know what I said about Kenyon Drake, Anthony?
Oh, I bet it's going to be great stuff.
Okay, here's what I said. I said that Kenyon Drake will go to fantasyalarm.com/Rouse, get the draft guide, and listen for himself just like you should. I'm a man of marketing.
The teaser.
60% off, too. It's only like $16, and it'll help you win, guys. Go see what I have to say about these players. I'm not going to give it away on a free show. I'm not a fan of him, I'll tell you that. But you have to hear why. Here's why. If Nick Saban isn't a fan of Kenyon Drake, then I am not either. There's your spoiler. All right, go watch the video. It's fun. There's more than that, but that may be a clue of why I'm not a fan of him.
That is analytics at its finest.
That is it. If Nick Saban doesn't like him, neither do I. So
I don't like him either now.
Uh-oh. So go check it out. Okay, believe it or not. Believe it or not.
Believe it or not.
Yeah, you want to finish it? You want to finish the Seinfeld version?
I think there's enough Seinfeld fans out there that want to listen to the rest of that song. I know I do. Give it to me, man. Give it to me.
Jesse's having fun. He says, I thank you for the shout out. I appreciate you and your fancy knowledge. Besides any of that, you're a worthless piece of shit. Oh, man. Oh, God. Oh, I like it. Hold on, let's do it.
Let's get it on.
Yeah, DMX has my back, Jesse. So there you go. Now he's a cool guy. He has a fun sense of humor. I actually want to get him on the show sometime. I think he'd be fun to get on. And you know, he wins fantasy because he listens to the show. So yeah, thank you. I mean, or you're welcome. Whatever. All right, back to this because we're already 22 minutes in. All right, a couple of guys that hit me hard. Well, I was watching the preseason games that I thought, wow, people are either going to be really high on them because of this or they're going to be lower on this. Most of them are high. So here we go. Number one, I was sitting there and I had the Denver-Minnesota game and the Chargers-Arizona game. And the Chargers game just started and they had Cardell Jones in there who's garbage. Cardell Jones is garbage. If you watch that, he cannot make a pass to save his life. He is so terrible. So while that was going on, I'm watching Royce Freeman just breaking ankles over here on the left side. And I'm an Oregon fan, as you can tell. And I've seen him play all 4 years at Oregon. The man's a beast. He can cut. He has speed. He can break tackles. He can go up the middle. He is the all-time leader for Oregon in a lot of categories in rushing. And he is a beast. And what's funny is Devontae Booker is also from Utah. He's their all-time leader in a lot of stuff in Utah. But he's already had his chance. And from what I see, the Broncos would be stupid not to just let Royce Freeman run the ball from day one and sprinkle in Booker if they need to go into, an extra type of thing or anything right now. So I think we got a call coming in. Not yet. Not quite yet, guys. I'll announce calls in a little bit. So I think that'd be stupid not to let him run, let Booker kind of come in and spell him a little bit. From what I saw, just his I know it's against second teamers. But what do you think of what you saw from Royce Freeman? Do you think he's the guy to own, and do you think that he just should start from day one?
Without a doubt. I don't know what John Elway and all them doing over there, management team at Denver, are thinking. I guess they're just giving it to Booker just because he's been there longer. So it's just more of a, give the veteran the first team reps starting off. But Freeman looks the part. He runs the ball well. Obviously, you've seen his days in Oregon. He's a beast. And if he's not starting week one, it's not going to be too soon after that he'll be leading that backfield. And, if I'm looking for high upside running backs in this draft, Freeman is on the top of that list for sure.
Yeah, definitely. And his ADP is skyrocketing. I mean, going really, really high. So you want to definitely so I'm getting calls right now already. Man, wait till we're done talking, then we'll do a call session at the end of the show.
They want to talk to you, Edward. They want you already, bud.
So yeah, I agree. He needs to start. Pick him up. And you know what? I could even see him going in third or fourth round from what I saw. I think he's going to get a lot of touchdowns. He's going to be the goal line guy over Booker, I think. And you know what? I'm high on him. You got to take him. Another guy who had so
Believe it or not.
we believe it, okay? Another guy there, too, as well, is Njoku, the tight end, whose ADP has really skyrocketed. It keeps on skyrocketing, and then he goes out there and pulls a triple-double. No, I'm kidding. He goes out there and gets 2 touchdown passes from both quarterbacks, from 2 different quarterbacks as well, by the way, which I thought was interesting. And his first touchdown pass from Taylor was a lot more interesting than the one from Mayfield, who I'll get to later. But there was nobody there. They have Callaway now, who they like. He has some issues right now with marijuana. He somehow shipped his car. This is a true story, by the way. He shipped his car in to Cleveland, where he's playing, and they found drugs on it. And he said that he let his friends borrow the car, and so he's in a lot of trouble for that. So I don't know if he's going to play. They like him a lot. They have, they just got rid of Coleman. They have Jarvis Landry there, who's a reception machine. Lots of people to feed the ball to. And I think Njoku will get opportunity, but I don't know if it's worth his current ADP where over like an Austin Seferian-Jenkins or someone like that. So I like what I saw, but I want to see more of it in the preseason, especially with Tyrod Taylor, because Tyrod Taylor does like his tight ends. I mean, he made Clay relevant, remember, in Buffalo. So what do you think of Njoku? Do you believe it or not?
I believe the talent. Obviously, they drafted him early last year, the draft, to be that impact guy. But like you said, his ADP is going to skyrocket. Guys were already high on him to begin with, and this is only going to bring him up on their scale. So I like him. Especially on that first touchdown, like you said on Taylor, it was a seam route. He outran the linebacker, and he was open by like 4 yards. Like, it was just pure speed on that seam, and you gotta love that as a believer for Njoku. But you're gonna have to spend a pretty penny for him, and I don't know if I'm gonna spend that kind of draft capital on him. So I like him, but where I can get another tight end somewhere later in the draft and get a position player, I'll probably do that instead of getting David Njoku.
Yeah, let someone else worry about that. Great showing, but overall, boom. Another one, too, that kind of stood out to me was Kelvin Benjamin. And I don't know if any of you saw this. Oh, so.
Believe it or not.
We kind of believe it. With Kelvin Benjamin there, he had a pretty good first quarter. He went 459-1. But, let's not all get our panties all tangled here. He was going up against his old team in Carolina, and before the game, him and Cam Newton actually got in a tiff. That's right.
Let's get it on.
Yeah, they were out there in preseason warm-ups, and Cam Newton went up to shake his hand, and Kelvin Benjamin pretty much did this to him. They started arguing a little bit, and I think Benjamin kind of gave it to him. So I wouldn't say that's his upside there, is that. I mean, he had a lot going for him. Up against his old team, who got rid of him. Up against Cam Newton, who he had a tiff with in the beginning. He had every right to go out there and, have a good first quarter. So let's not go crazy on him. But I went looking at his ADP, and I said, what, son? A number 1 receiver for Buffalo, who's a great red zone threat for whoever's going to be the quarterback, whether it's A.J. McCarron, who I predict will be the first quarterback benched, or Josh Allen later on. You're going to get some touchdowns there. Maybe 8 touchdowns. You know, he may not hit 1,000 yards, maybe 900, maybe about 50 receptions. But, I mean, where he's at right now, solid pick. If he's there, where you see him, what round do you think he goes, Anthony, right now?
You know, I think his ADP right now has been in that 11, 12 round range.
That's
which
crazy.
I think
Yeah.
that's awesome. You know, if you're going to take a chance on a guy, a number one receiver, and like you said, if he's healthy, it looks like he's finally healthy for the first time in a few years. He's a big body guy, red zone threat for whoever's throwing the ball. I like the potential. And say he doesn't, say he just poops out. It's not that big of a cost to you.
Exactly. I like it, especially if he's going to be like your bench receiver at that round, and you could put him in as a bye week. I mean, come on. He may end up being your starter or your third. So
Believe it or not.
I believe it on Kelvin Benjamin, especially where his ADP, and put him on your lineups, put him on your teams. Win, win, win. I'm not going to the rookie receivers yet. We have a whole segment on that. Old team, Mr. DJ Moore, though, rookie, really impressed me. He went 475. But 4 for 75 is pretty solid. You know, he did play a little bit more than Funchess did, but man, he looked explosive. He looked fast. It's really encouraging to see him play. I am a big fan of him. I've talked about him as I think he's going to be, of all the rookie receivers, even over Gallup, as I think the top one by year's end. Not a fan of Funchess at all. I love Greg Olsen, but I think he ends up being maybe the top receiver on Carolina by the end of the year.
Ooh.
So pick up DJ Moore. I'm targeting him on Friday night, and you should too. What do you think about DJ Moore?
No, you know, like you said, the last couple of years, rookie wide receivers have kind of struggled. You know, last year Juju led the whole group, and he was like a 4th-round pick. So It's kind of been hit and miss the last couple of years. But, yeah, like you said, DJ Moore, super athletic, big-time receiver. And, yeah, it's week 1 of the preseason. Don't want to get too much into it, but he played the part. You know, he went out there and he looked good. And, you know, Cam Newton's looking for a receiver. He wants someone to take Benjamin's spot. Obviously, Benjamin could care less what Cam thinks, but he's looking for that new guy.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I like DJ Moore. And once again, I think you're going to hear this so much from me on our show, and especially from Edward, is value. The value for DJ. DJ Moore is being drafted after Funchess. Mm-hmm. So to roll the dice on DJ Moore to lead the wide receivers and targets is a good bet, and you're getting him after, you know, Funchess. So I like that already. So definitely look at him in your drafts.
Hey, let's check in with our Carolina correspondent and see what he has to say about DJ Moore. All right. Thanks, DMX. So he is all in on DJ Moore. So
Believe it or not.
we believe it on DJ Moore. I love him. All right. My last one here real quick, who stood out to me, is I think could be the ultimate vulture of the year. That's right. He's back. And maybe into your lineups. Jeremy Hill. Yeah, Jeremy Hill. Welcome back to the NFL. We all know what happened to him. He pretty much got cut for a wife beater or a girlfriend beater in Cincinnati. And now he's on New England. New England with their always rotating running backs. And he went 11-51 with a touchdown. Going up, you know, we had Rex Burkhead in there as well. And I believe Gillisley is still around, right? Is he still touching the football?
Just like any other Patriot, yeah, he's in there. He's in the mix still.
Of course, Sonny Michel is out with that injury. They drafted Sonny Michel in the first round. They're going to use him.
We'll see.
But Jeremy Hill is going to be the LeGarrette Blount of this year. If he makes a team, which he may over Gillisley. I don't think Gillisley makes the team. I think Jeremy Hill makes it as that vulture. Because Belichick loves having that vulture. And James White is James White. And Rex Burkhead, you know, he'll be hurt by week 2. So, Jeremy Hill, do you believe it or not?
You know, I'm going to say no just for the sheer fact. You just named like 8 running backs that the Patriots have.
Yeah, I think a lot.
And all of them are up for a cut except Sonny Michel because he's a first rounder. And all of them could have a really good season. Jeremy Hill, he's going undrafted, so it's not like he's going to cost you anything. But like you said, they're looking for that LeGarrette Blount guy to be that, you know, red zone, pound it in there, get some touchdowns. So, yeah, Hill might get you some touchdowns, but if you start him, he's probably not going to do good that week. I hate playing that game with Patriots running backs. I remember a few years back, I did it in one draft, and I drafted 2 of them, and the third one actually ended up playing well. So
yeah, I remember Rex Burkhead was a darling in the draft last year.
Oh yeah,
and then he didn't do anything the first couple of weeks, so people dropped him, and then boom, next thing you know, he's the big guy again. Injuries and whatnot. Gillislee had 3 touchdowns his first week, remember? And then after that, he was gone, and he was on the practice squad, and then here comes Burkhead, and here comes Deion Lewis, and here comes James White, and here comes Bill Bradley, and here comes Jacob Smith, and
here comes Edward Rouse.
Here comes me. Put me on the team. I can get some touches for that Patriot backfield. That's right. Edward Rouse now. Yeah, here we go. Woo! Number 13, Patriots.
Number 13?
That's my number. That's my lucky number. And it's the 13th. That's why we're having fun tonight. That's the whole reason.
Number 13?
Yeah.
As a running back? Running back?
So we've gone over the players that surprised me. I know you have some too. You gave me a list, so I'm just going to name them, and you're going to tell me if you...
Believe it or not.
All right, here we go. All right, my boy, who was really, I knew was going to be fantastic, and that is Kerryon Johnson. He went 734, the Auburn Tiger. What did you feel about him against your Raiders?
Yeah, that kind of hurt, but you know what? The defense is not really good, so I expected a good show. No, Kerryon, he looks the part, man. He's similar to Royce Freeman, the Rolls Royce in Denver. Big back. He had a phenomenal year at Auburn last year, tore up Alabama, Georgia defenses. Good runner. He's able to catch the ball. He showed explosiveness on that 60-yarder that was called back. He broke a couple touchdowns or a couple tackles, spun around. He did it all in that one play, and that just kind of shows the Lions. They've been searching for that running back. They tried Amir Abdullah, didn't work out.
Yes.
They've tried Reddick, hasn't worked out. They want someone.
Reddick is a receiver acting as a running back. We all know that.
But, he's still in the mix.
In comes LeGarrette Blount, who is the ultimate TD vulture.
That's going to be the big question mark with Kerryon's price is how much is Blount going to get? Blount started the game, only played 2 series, so nothing too concerning. But still, they brought him over for a reason, and that could kill Kerryon's value if he gets those touchdowns vultured. But his draft day price is pretty good, but I like it. I want to see more. I'm going to put a question mark. I want to see more from him before the season starts.
I do too, and he's going to get his shot. He probably won't play the week 4 of the preseason, but he's going to get week 3. I think he's going to get the majority of the carries. He'll get down to the 3-yard line, and then in will come
Smoke weed every day.
LeGarrette Blount to get that touchdown and ruin everyone's dreams there.
Hey, was LeGarrette Blount and Josh Gordon hanging out with Callaway?
No, Le'Veon Bell was there though.
Your boy Le'Veon Bell.
Oh man. Oh, real quick news update. Yes, real quick. I know I'm just with them. LaShawn McCoy was actually served with papers today. His girlfriend did file a lawsuit against him. So be wary of that, because from what I read earlier today, right before the show, it seems like a suspension may be looming. Of course, he's going to do the whole thing where he tries to fight it and everything, and it may be a Ezekiel Elliott situation of this year, but that lowers LaShawn McCoy deeply. He may miss 4, maybe even 6 games, maybe even the season, if it gets to a point where it's a Ray Rice situation. So monitor that, people. You heard it first on Monday Night Rants. That's right. LaShawn McCoy got served.
Literally. He got served.
Literally.
Well, you know what? That's the thing about it. We saw Zeke last year, and he was never convicted. The charges were dropped. And by the court of Goodell, still got suspended 6 games. So shady, makes me super nervous. Even if he's found innocent, you never know what Goodell's
here's what's in the court papers. She didn't say that he planned the thing, but she's suing him because he changed the cameras. He changed the code so she couldn't set the alarm. She also mentioned that he beat his kid and was mean to him, and beat his dog during the off season, and that she believes, and it's also him and another teammate from Pittsburgh, believes, I read the whole thing, I love this stuff, believes that he was responsible for it. She's not saying he is, but she believes. So if Ezekiel Elliott goes down for that, LaShawn McCoy may be out. He may be done. This may be Ray Rice all over again. I know there's no video of him punching someone in an elevator, but this is pretty bad, especially if anything comes out about dog beating or kid beating. That's pretty much the cherry on the top. And LaShawn McCoy.
What is your major malfunction, numbnuts?
That is right. So back to
Believe it or not.
all right, you brought up a guy that I really didn't see or really didn't take a good look at, but after you brought it up to me, I kind of did a little bit. John Kelly. No, that's not a kicker. No, it's not a linebacker. No, it's not a receiver. No, it's not a quarterback. John Kelly is actually, Anthony, you want to tell them?
He is the de facto backup running back for Todd Gurley.
Boom. That's right. That's the one you want to own. That's the one you want to handcuff right there is John Kelly. You heard it where? Monday Night Rants. That's right. You want to tell us why you like John Kelly and like what you saw?
You know what? Even though they're kind of different players, he just came out of Tennessee a year after Alvin Kamara, but has that same skill set. You know, he's able to run the ball good. He catches the ball well out of the backfield. Not saying he's going to get any kind of stats this year. You know, Gurley, they just gave Gurley a crap load of money.
Yeah.
You know, so they're going to run him like crazy. But if something unforeseen happens and you have Kelly sitting on your bench all year, and I don't want to wish any injuries on Gurley or anything like that, but if something happens, you got yourself a gold mine in Kelly. And I think that's worth what I usually call my last pick of the draft, a lottery ticket. Put your lottery ticket in there, because if you win, you're cashing out big time.
Yeah, there you go. You heard it here. You know what? You heard Anthony Zaragoza, guys. Give him a shout out at Zaragoza Anthony on Twitter. That's some great. And then after you said that, I kind of went back and looked at some tape a little bit, and you were right. I think he's the guy that's going to get the all the carries if Gurley were to go down. You go from Gurley to Kelly.
Ooh, I like the sound of that. And you know what? And he could just sit the pine all year. Gurley has another phenomenal year, whatever. But what if? Just what if, man? So you're saying there's a chance. That's all you need.
Exactly. Speaking of saying there's a chance, another guy you had on the list, which I want to talk about too, because something came up this morning about him, and that's Saquon Barkley. I know he got up to a tremendous start on his first run from scrimmage, and after that, well, he wasn't very good. So what do you think about Saquon Barkley? Do you believe in him this year? Do you think he's a first-round pick?
Me personally, no. I'm staying away from Barkley. I'm finding other guys I'd rather draft. Melvin Gordon, Leonard Fournette, Kareem Hunt. Just name your guy in that first round. I'm going to draft him ahead of Barkley. But that first run, you heard all those fans in the Meadowlands. They were just going bonkers.
Yeah.
Barkley. They want it. They need that. And so his ADP is going to move up. He was already late in the first round. He's probably going to get close to like Alvin Kamara, Antonio Brown range. You know, that's how quick this hype. I saw stuff on Twitter talking about, you know, he should be considered as a top 5 pick. Just nuts, crazy stuff. But it's because of that first run. It's that glimpse, that hope. He might be it.
Right. I love your enthusiasm. But notes from New York practice this morning. Barkley had a long pass that he ran in for a touchdown during practice and went up lame onto the sidelines and was seen with his leg wrapped up at the end of practice. They don't think it's nothing to worry about, but more will come tomorrow. Ooh. So be careful there. Now, this is not a guy I guess he does kind of have an injury history, but you got to look at that, especially with that offensive line in New York. He's going to get hit, and he's going to get hit in the backfield a lot. So that's something that you want to look at. And be careful of that, and that's why I don't think he's a first rounder either. I'll let someone else waste their pick on that, and I'll pick up Melvin Gordon or a Leonard Fournette in that range. So there you go.
Believe it or not.
Chris keeps on saying how terrible the "Believe It or Not" song is. It's George Costanza from Seinfeld. People, come on, it's awesome. I know it cuts off wrong, but still, it's awesome. So we don't really believe in Saquon as a first rounder. So moving on to your boy. I'm going to skip Kirk Cousins because we all know. Come on. He's going to be good. Let's leave it at that. Marshawn Lynch. Come on, dude. Really? Marshawn Lynch?
You know how to put in a Raider player in there. Come on. You got to give it to me. You always put Charger players in there, even though they deserve it. I got to throw something in there for my Raider Nation, for all my fans, all that out there. They got to hear it. Hey, Marshawn Lynch, yeah, is he going to be an RB1 this year? No. But where he's going right now in this 8th round of drafts, you're talking about a guy who almost rushed for 900 yards last year. He had 7 touchdowns. This year, John Gruden wants to run the ball downhill. They got themselves a blocking tight end. They picked up the blocking fullback for the Cowboys last year. They're going to run the ball. And Lynch looked energetic. He showed great burst on that 60-yard touchdown run that got brought back for a flag. Surprise, surprise, the Raiders got flagged on a play.
Not as much as the Chargers did. Jeez.
Yeah, but we have like 30 years of history of flags, but whatever. But still, he showed great burst.
Red flag.
Safety. He looked good. I just, if you're looking for value, guys, if you want these starting running backs, starting wide receivers, the Kelvin Benjamins, those are guys you should target. You know, why get a third-string receiver somewhere else when you can get a starting running back or starting receiver? And that's why I like Lynch. He showed good burst. He looks good still. So I'm going to take him.
So you're not worried about 2.4 yards a carry Dougie Fresh.
Oh my God. Yeah, you just explained it right there. He averages the same amount of yards as I do.
Yeah, well.
And I don't even play.
If you did, you could definitely average more yards than Dougie Fresh Martin over there. Speaking of Dougie Fresh Martin, a team that he was just on. And by the way, if you go to fantasyalarm.com/Rouse and you get the draft guide, we have for 60% off. Come on, $16, people. We have bold predictions. My bold prediction for TD Vulture, I'll just give it away, I don't care, is this next player. It was the only one that picked him. I did a lot of research. It was the only one that picked him. It's going to be Ronald Jones to the 10, and this guy is going to steal the touchdowns from him every time, and that's Peyton Barber. And I like what I saw, too. What did you see that surprised you from Peyton Barber for the Buccaneers over the weekend?
Well, the big key is he started the game. He had 12 reps out of the first 13 for the first-team offense against Ronald Jones 1. So, obviously, starting the season. He looked good, too, on that 10-yard run against Miami. So, everyone, like you said, wants to hype out Ronald Jones. That's great. It's going to cost you maybe a 5th, 6th rounder. But Peyton Barber's going double-digit rounds right now. Yeah. And for all intents and purposes, until something changes, and he's been having a phenomenal training camp, he's going to start the year as your running back. Another value running back who's going to be your starting running back.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
At worst, like you said, a TD Vulture. I love it.
Yeah, no, I'm with you there. You know what? He may even be worth drafting, to be honest.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, from what I saw, even if he does get first reps and everything, Chris really wants to call in and talk Johnny Football. Really, let's not talk about Johnny Football. He sucks. He can't even. He went in the four interceptions in his first start in the Canadian Football League last week. Terrible. Justin Watson agrees with you on the Peyton Barber, by the way. But yeah, Johnny Football is terrible. He's never coming back to the NFL, and he's going to sit there in Canada, and he's going to throw 4 interceptions a game because that's what he does best. So leave Johnny Football out of this. Let's talk about fantasy football. Let's talk about the NFL and not Canadian football. Chris, sorry, Chris. He's in our league too. So ask some questions about football. Call in a couple more minutes. I'll bring in the calls. So let's finish up what we got here. After that, we're going to talk about some injuries that happened. The big one, of course. The big one.
Believe it or not.
We believe in Peyton Barber now. I do, at least, and so does Anthony. So get him on your teams. Especially if you pick up Ronald Jones where he is. You can pick up Peyton Barber later and just kind of see what happens. And then you got trade bait. You got all sorts of stuff there that you can deal with. So, boom. The Darius Geis injury. Going down to the ACL tear. Joining the likes of Hunter Henry. And, wow. That sucks because a lot of people, especially in Dynasty, well, I guess in Dynasty you may be okay. But if you already did best ball leagues, if you've already drafted before the preseason and you got guys on your team, you better go and get Pay Ryan now. Or Rob Kelly or something. I don't know. Or Peyton Barber. Right? If you drafted Geis and he got hurt, he's out for the year, and you're in a 1-year league, not in a Dynasty league, and Peyton Barber's there, I would pick up Peyton Barber for Geis right now just to have on your team, because I don't trust any of those backs. Chris Thompson's probably already taken. What do you think there? What's your view on the Geis injury?
It's horrible. Like you said, I've already done a couple of drafts on Twitter, and I saw Geis in one of my drafts go in the 3rd round. So you're talking about somebody's.
Was that a dynasty league?
No. It's
oh my God! Oh Jesus! I want to be in that league. Can I be in that league?
Oh man! Well, not if you're that guy. Well, it's rough because on Twitter you have to do a lot of slow drafts, and you have guys from all over the place. And for everything I've heard, Geis sounds like the real deal. He looks good. He's another guy like Freeman and Kerryon Johnson that just look good. And Washington's been searching for that running back. So yeah, maybe it might be a little early. I thought Geis is like more in the 4th round, but hey, 3rd round, no problem. And then 2 days later, you hear this news. Like, what do you do? That's your RB2.
Yeah, that's terrible.
That's rough, man.
Yeah.
I'm emailing the commissioner right now saying, dude, give me my money back right now. Give me back my money back right now. It's just rough. But still, you're talking about now. You have Rob Kelly, who's coming back from injury. P. Ryan was the de facto number 1 running back last year, but I think he averaged like 3.6 yards per carry, so nothing.
It's better than Doug Martin
at all.
It's better than Doug Martin.
If your best selling point to a player is, well, it's better than Doug Martin, you're probably not that good anyways. That can't be what you hold.
There's people on practice squads that have more yards per carry than Doug Martin.
Yeah. That's horrible.
So that was.
You know what? I did have more yards than Doug Martin.
Yeah.
Well, I hope so.
That was the big injury. The other injury news came out today. Alshon Jeffrey. Actually, his shoulder injury is worse than it seemed. He's going to miss the first 6 weeks of the season, not preseason included. That means he's gone 1 through 6 of the NFL season. So Alshon Jeffrey, I'm not drafting him. Even if he's still there later, I don't know if he's even going to come back after the first 6 weeks with that shoulder. Nelson Aguilar really, really boosts up higher to me. And I may actually be targeting him higher as a wide receiver 2 or 3. I like Nelson Aguilar with that news of Alshon Jeffrey. Anthony, unfortunately, I know you have a lot of Alshon Jeffrey in some of the leagues you drafted already. So how do you feel about that injury, and what do you go from there?
Not too good. I don't feel good at all. If he starts the season off on the pup and he has to miss the first 6 weeks, you're talking about that's your half your regular season. Half your regular season down the drain, and then you're factoring the bye week, and then it might take him a little bit to get back in the groove. Yeah, it's a bad situation. Mm-hmm. I'm just sick to my stomach. I can't believe it.
Nelson Aguilar up on your boards. All right, guys. We're going to take some calls. So we're going to try it at least. Anthony may not be able to be on them, but I will. So I'll answer some phone calls. Anthony's going to try to listen in, and we will see how it goes. So if you were calling and you want to call in now, but please, let's not talk novels here. Like a minute apiece, guys. Let's take some calls. So call in. And until I get some calls in, Anthony and I are going to talk about the rookie quarterbacks that we saw. The Jackson, the Mayfield. Jackson's already played 2 games, of course. Darnold, and Rosen, like I already mentioned, he got destroyed by the Chargers. And then Josh Allen, who had the bum play of the year. All right, we got a call, so I'm going to answer. Let's see what happens. What's going on, man? Welcome to the show. How can I help you?
Hi. I want to talk to Eddie.
This is him right here, man. You're live right now. How can I help you?
How's it going, man? I want to talk about Johnny Football. I know you think you've written him off.
We're not going to talk about Johnny Football anymore, man. No more Johnny Football. He's in Canadian football now.
All right. Well, I would like to talk about him because I think he has a chance. I believe in second chances.
You believe it? You believe in a second chance for what, buddy? What do you think he's going to come back to the NFL and play for us, or what, or play for the NFL?
Well, let me say this: I believe in fourth chances.
All right. Well, you have any NFL questions or anything about the draft or anything we have coming up?
Yeah. I mean, I wanted to talk about Saquon Barkley a little bit.
All right, sure. We've already talked about Saquon a little bit. He did leave practice today with an injury. Do you believe in him as a first rounder? Are you picking him? Do you have him on in your teams, or what do you think of him?
I didn't see he left with an injury.
Yes. Wow. Yeah, today he left practice with an injury. They don't think it's too serious, but he was seen with his leg wrapped after he came up lame after a play. So I think he'll be fine.
So who's your first round pick?
My first. Well, it depends on where I'm picking. But overall, number one, you can't go wrong with either Le'Veon Bell or Todd Gurley. And after that, it's kind of depends on where you are. In the league that we have coming up live on Friday, I'm probably going to go at 6, probably major receiver and try to make up for my running backs later. But we'll see. I may change my mind by then.
Okay. All right, man. Well, thank you for taking my call.
Hey, no problem, man. Hey, call back anytime. We'll talk more Johnny football next week, huh?
All right, take it easy.
All right, have a good one. Oh, man. Anthony, you with me? Oh, we seem to have lost Anthony. So, Johnny Football, come on, guys. Johnny Football is dead to me. He should be dead to you, too. That's just the way it is. So, we will take some more calls, too, for a little bit. If you want to join in on the fun, please feel free to do so. And let's have some fun. So, call in. We're going to be here. We'll end a little bit. We're calling Anthony back right now. See if he can answer. Anthony, you with me?
Are you doing that on purpose?
No, we got another call about Johnny Football. I gotta go. We got another call. I'll be right back. How's it going? How can I help you today? You're on Monday Night Rants.
Hey, what's going on, Eddie? It's Justin.
Hey, Justin. What is going on, brother?
Happy Tuesday, brother.
What, are you on the East Coast right now?
No, I'm up here in Truckee.
Oh, nice. How's life, buddy?
It's good. I'm on my way to Idaho.
Nice. What are you doing in Idaho? You out trucking?
Yep, just doing the trucking thing. But we got to get on the golf course soon. I want to start with that.
All right, yeah, dude, for sure. Let's get on the golf course. Let's get Anthony out there. Let's get all the boys, and let's go play some 18, have some beers, and have a good time.
Let's do it. I got to start with, I'm not on that Barber train, that Peyton Barber train. When you draft somebody with the 38th overall pick, you expect him to start there. And we haven't had a great track record of drafting. So I think that trend looks to be continuing, which is unfortunate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I believe that Peyton Barber will actually be the TD vulture of Ronald Jones. I think Jones will get the majority of the carries and the volume in between the yards, but Peyton Barber's a bigger guy. He has more success in the red zone. They used him in that position last year. And I think he's going to be a TD vulture. And if Jones were to go down with an injury or anything, then Peyton Barber is a must-have. So if you do get Ronald Jones, you may want to get Peyton Barber later as a handcuff, and just to see what happens.
Well, you know that Ron Jones was my sleeper. You did predict that.
I did.
But
yes.
I do got to say, I predict that Ronald Jones late in the year will have a definite impact. So I think he's definitely worth drafting, especially if his stock falls a couple rounds. I think in the 6th or maybe the 6th round, he's worth taking a shot on. Yeah,
definitely. Take a shot on him. And I know you're a Buccaneers fan, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Where do they finish this year? What's their record going to be?
Well, we're not getting off to a good start with Jameis suspended for the first
That's
3
true.
games.
That's
and
true.
Probably having the toughest 3-game schedule to start. So honestly, I would predict 6-10 if I'm being real.
Okay. All right. 6-10. Being a realist there, not going for the optimism there, but you know what? It is kind of a rebuilding year in a way, especially with that suspension to Jameis, which kind of kills it a little bit.
I know you got to go. I want to get this out real quick.
All right.
So you guys were talking about handcuffs. Out of these 3, Spencer Ware, Latavius Murray, and that Pittsburgh backup Connor. Who do you prefer there? And then also I wanted to say, is there a price too high for handcuffing in your opinion? Like guys like Mark Ingram and Tevin Coleman.
There is in a way, but first of all 3 of those guys you mentioned, it just depends. If you get the starter, you're going to want to have one of those guys later on. It depends on the size of the bench too, and also really depends on how many running backs you draft, because if you draft enough running backs, then you really don't need that handcuff, if that makes sense. But if you're try to get more receivers that you believe in and you only have 3 or 4 running backs, then you get the handcuff to your number 1 guy. I like James Conner a lot. Who are the other 2 handcuffs you mentioned?
Latavius Murray and Spencer Ware.
Yeah, Spencer Ware on Hunt. That one's kind of crazy for me because, Spencer Ware got hurt in the preseason last year, and that's what gave Hunt the opportunity. And I think that Ware is actually going to cut into his volume this year, especially with an Andy Reid run offense. And, you still want to draft him, but I'd be weary of even Kareem Hunt because Ware's going to be there. And Latavius Murray is a must-own if you don't Cook, especially coming off a big injury. But Latavius Murray's price is going to be higher than those other two guys. So what you were mentioning about Tevin Coleman in that is Tevin Coleman is a great handcuff, but he's also almost a 50-50 split guy, the way I look at it, the way that offensive runs. So where he's being drafted at, I think is fine for him. If you get him and Devonta Freeman, it could be a little rough on knowing who to play at sometimes. So I kind of stay away from handcuffs like that are more of a 50-50 split, if that makes sense.
Well, I also think that people fall in love with these backups and think that they're just going to produce like the starter did. Mm-hmm. When I think you really got to look at the offensive line there.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, David Johnson. With the center going down in Arizona, and that offensive line already being weak. Buyer beware, I think.
Yeah, Minnesota just had the same problem. They had one of their offensive linemen go out for the year, and I think the center is out too for a while. So I think Minnesota's in the same boat there. So yeah, it's all about the system. Really, it's all about the system and the offensive line when it comes to handcuffs, or if a player can just step right in and pull off what the starter is going to do. So in a system like Pittsburgh, James Conner is going to strive. Let's put it that way. He's going to strive in that system with that offensive line. Latavius Murray is going to be Latavius Murray. But Spencer Ware and Kareem Hunt in that system with Andy Reid, I'm a little worried about both of them. I actually don't even have Kareem Hunt on my list to draft, believe it or not.
I'm right there with you.
Yeah.
His price compared to, he had that big dip in the middle of the season. So
exactly. Not consistent enough for me, and and Howard Bender on the Fantasy Alarm Show talked about it all the time. We hate Andy Reid, so we're both on the same boat there. Hey man, I gotta go. I gotta finish up the show. But thanks for calling in, dude. We'll talk to you next week. Call in, man, and have a safe trucking trip, buddy. All right, man.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Bye.
Goodbye.
Oh man, we got call-ins now on the show. How awesome is this? Having a good time. We'll try to get Anthony back in to finish off the show. I'm still trying to work out how to get everyone to come in through the Skype thing. I just got the number to make it all happen and whatnot. So we're trying the best we can. Anthony, are you with us?
Man, I felt like the kid who got picked last for dodgeball right now.
Yeah, we got to figure out how do you get. I mean, if you were here live, we could definitely do it. So maybe we'll take some calls during the draft next week because you'll be here, and or on Friday at that. Justin called in. He asked about handcuffs, about James Conner, Latavius Murray, and Spencer Ware. I gave him my thoughts on that, and then we talked about Peyton Barber and how he could be a TD vulture, and we had a good time. Good guy on his way to Idaho. He's going to be in the draft on Friday as well. Thanks for calling in, guys. We got 2 good calls there. Thank you, guys. Anyone else wants to call in? We'll take a few, maybe one more, but Anthony and I's got to finish this up. Anthony, you down to hang out for a little bit longer?
Yeah, man, I came here to party.
I came here to party. All right. One thing I want to talk about were the rookie quarterbacks from the preseason week 1. Because that's when they really get their first chance to play, not against their own team, where the game is sped up a little bit more. And even in preseason, even in second-teamers and third-teamers, the game is sped up more than it is in college. And they face a lot more adversity, and they face a lot, bigger players. If they get hit, it's going to hurt more, to be honest. So watching these rookie, it's supposed to be a big rookie quarterback year. We have the big 5 or whatever there are. There's 5, right? Yeah, big 5. Was interested in me because some shined, some didn't, and some shined, but they didn't really shine, and I'll explain that in a second. So let's run down the list. We're not going to do... That was the wrong button, but it's okay. I don't like that.
Are we talking about Josh Allen right there?
No, yeah. That was the play. That was the Sports Center not top 10 play of the offseason so far. Was the Josh Allen play. If you haven't seen it, just look up Josh Allen fail, and I believe it'll come up first. And we'll get to Josh Allen in a second, but I want to start with Baker Mayfield because he was the hoot and hollering of the preseason. He came in, of course, for Tyrod Taylor. By the way, Tyrod Taylor had a solid game. forget Tyrod Taylor there, guys. He's there to start, and they want him to start all year. So, but Baker Mayfield came in and made some plays. He actually had the best stats of all the rookies. I think he had over 200 yards passing, the only one that did that. And I think he had, 2 touchdowns or 3? 2?
2 touchdowns.
2 touchdowns. And what ESPN called darts, by the way. He's all, look at this Baker Mayfield dart. And it was literally him scrambling around and throwing a blooper up between 2 second-tier defenders that, if they were starters, would have been interception. They caught it, and they called it a dart. That's crazy. But he did play well, but a lot of it is a huge asterisk next to it. Because a lot of the throws he made, I think starters would have been able to intercept or get in the way. And, it was kind of like, what's the phrase when it's like, there but it's not, Magic Man or whatever. Or I don't know. Anyways. What was your thought on Baker Mayfield? Because I thought he looked better than he really was.
No, I think that's the best way to explain it. I wasn't really too high on Baker coming in the draft. I thought he had to work on a lot of mechanics, just throwing the ball. And, he made some good throws, like you said. There were a couple ones where he was moving in the pocket, threw 2 touchdowns. I liked some things that he did, but what is the worst part of it is now the fans in Cleveland, they've been searching for this quarterback for like 20 years now. Now that they've seen a glimmer of hope, the first time that Tyrod Taylor shows any type of issues, Browns are struggling, the chants will begin. Baker, Baker, Baker. And the pressure on for that coaching staff and management to put in Baker already is going to be there. And I think that's probably the worst thing for him.
Poor Tyrod Taylor, man, because he actually played well. Like, poor Tyrod Taylor.
Nobody wants him. He's been pretty solid for Buffalo. They threw him out. They'd rather throw in Nate Peterman, who had probably one of the worst games in the history of the NFL.
Against who?
And I don't want to say.
The Chargers.
Oh, man. But still, Tyrod, nobody likes him. Nobody wants him. He's just the afterthought. But he's a solid quarterback, and, that's the thing that's going to happen with him. The first second he has any kind of adversity, any issues, the chance will begin, especially if Baker keeps making excitement. The energy in that game is you could tell, you could hear it in the crowd. So it's only going to get worse for him, for sure.
I think Chris Carter had the tweet of the year as an analysis. He said, the Cleveland Brown has definitely gotten better in the offseason, especially at quarterback. That was his analysis on Twitter. Thank Chris Carter. Go back to catching footballs on the sidelines, please, because that's terrible. They're 0-16, of course. No matter what they do, they're going to be better. And once you add Jarvis Landry, you're going to be better. So come on, Chris Carter. So Baker's Mayfield. When I look at his performance, I kind of think, yeah, that's how I feel about Baker Mayfield. So, moving on. He already has 2 games under his belt, but the first one, he kind of struggled a little bit. The second one, he shined, and that is Lamar Jackson. Did you see him breaking ankles out there?
I thought he was playing. It was one of those old N1 basketball commercials. He's over there crossing dudes.
Yeah. I really. He's dynamic. I mean, he's going to be like a Michael Vick type player, I believe. Without, hopefully he doesn't get into dogfighting. Let's cross our fingers here. Come on, Lamar, we believe in you. I like what I saw, man. He was crossing up people. That touchdown run was nice. It was almost as good as the Royce Freeman one, to be honest. His legs, like you said, his legs are. He's ready to start as a running quarterback. His arm, though, may need some work. But that's the way that everyone always thought. They're trying to say, can we convert him to receiver, to running back? We know we could run the football. What do you think about Lamar Jackson? Do you think that, do you agree with me? Did you see anything else I didn't? Do you compare him to anybody else, or what do you think?
No, I think exactly what you said. I wouldn't probably go out as far as Mike Vick, but
come on.
I would say Mike Vick, being a lefty like you, that arm strength and that ability to throw the ball, that deep ball, is just unreal. Mike Vick just was a freak of nature. But no, Lamar out there, he's electric. When the ball's in his hands, something good's going to happen. Running the ball wise, he can make plays when other quarterbacks can't, and you got to love that. But when you're 11 for 28 passing, against backups.
Yeah,
it's not a
that's the
great
problem.
sign, but hopefully, in another situation like Cleveland, hopefully everybody doesn't call for Flacco's head when he struggles, because he will struggle. That's what Flacco does. So hopefully when he does, they don't call for Lamar. If Lamar sits, gets better, gets more reps in practice, gets more reps in the preseason, there's going to be some excitement there. And I kind of like the beginning of it. Going in there now is dangerous, but there's some excitement. You got to like that, being a Baltimore fan right now.
Yeah, I think so too. One thing with Baltimore that you always get, no matter what, is a defense. Every year, for some reason, their defense has more turnovers than anyone else, no matter who's on there. But their offense got better this year, because last year they were not very good. But adding Crabtree, adding some places around him, Hurst, a solid tight end that hopefully won't get hurt like the rest of them, giving him some targets in the middle of the field, I think will help Lamar Jackson a little bit, because at Louisville, he didn't really have that. He had deep threats and speed guys. So having possession receivers, and he hasn't played with Crabtree yet either. Keep that in mind. Will help him a little bit with getting that ratio better as far as reception percentage, because 11 for 28 is pretty bad. But I like what I saw. I wouldn't expect to see him this year. Next year, maybe later. But he's going to be exciting to watch, that's for sure. Moving on is Sam Darnold. Darnold, whatever. The former Trojan condom. He go Oregon. I'm not a USC fan. He came in, of course, and he had a pretty decent look when he first came in. I believe he threw a touchdown right on the first drive. He came in, and he looked decent. I mean, I was kind of watching that game a little bit, but I wasn't really all eyes on that game. Did you see him? What did you see from Darnold that you liked? And do you think he even plays this year?
You know what? You have your Oregon Ducks goggles on right now, because I think that's what's kind of swaying your view on Sam Darnold. No, I like Darnold. I thought he was the number one quarterback going into the draft, and the way he looks out there, he looks poised. He was able to go make his reads. That touchdown pass that he did came up in the pocket. He's really mobile. A lot of people don't give him a lot of credit for being, Lamar Jackson-esque, which he's not. But the guy can move in the pocket really well, and he did that on that touchdown pass. Able to hit guys in the flat. He took the underneath stuff when the defense gave it to him. He made the right reads, and that's what I'm really concerned about when it comes to these young quarterbacks. Are you making the right read? Are you taking what the defense gives you? And Sam Darnold did that.
Well, that's something that he has struggled with even in college, though. He is known to throw a lot of interceptions.
A lot of interceptions, yeah, because he always took a lot of those risks. He was a big arm guy, so he took a lot of risks. So he threw a lot of interceptions. But as far as him playing this year, it's a good chance. I even heard reports that he already started taking first-team reps. So
yep,
I don't know how many, but Jets fans, these New York fans.
Jets, Jets.
What's his name? Fireman Joe or Fireman?
If Howard knows, he's a Jets fan. He would know. But
yeah, Fireman guy. He wants them. They want their franchise quarterback. Like when they got Mark Sanchez for those 2 AFC Championship games, they were just in love with Mark Sanchez, and it turned into a mess. Just horrible. Yeah, project.
The butt fumble, eating hot dogs on the sideline.
Horrible. So they've been wanting a quarterback like Darnold. So
and speaking of Jets franchise quarterbacks, Hackenberg just got picked up.
Oh my! Well, the Christian Hackenberg, right? The next coming, the second rounder. Oh my God! See, and that's what I'm saying. The desperation of the Jets. They've been searching for that guy. They went out. They got Darnold, which I think was awesome. He's probably the best quarterback in the draft, and he looked the part. Hopefully, they let him sit, but. Who else do you have there in New York? I think just because of the quality of quarterbacks there, Darnold's going to get thrown in. I think he's the best out of the rookie class, so he'll probably play better than others.
Ooh.
But I'm telling you, he looks the part right now. I don't care. If you want to take a mobile quarterback, go ahead and do it. But I want a guy who can make a throw, and Darnold is that guy.
All right. Well, speaking of not looking the part, Josh Rosen got his go-to there. And where was Christian Kirk in this game, by the way? Josh Rosen got his start against my Chargers, of course, on a Saturday night, and it was a rough one, to be honest. He didn't really look good at all. There was a few times where he looked like he could become an NFL quarterback, but for most of the time he was playing, he looked pretty terrible, to be honest. I know he didn't have Fitzgerald. He didn't have Christian Kirk was not playing in there for some reason, or he just disappeared. I don't know. And, he just did not look good. What was your thoughts on Josh Rosen? I mean, was there anything there that makes you think that he will be okay?
He has the tools. Josh Rosen, when his time at UCLA, he has the tools. He has the arm strength. He's a smart guy. He's a phenomenal athlete. So it's there. Arizona that offensive line was just pummeled. Obviously.
Oh yeah, they were getting run over.
So Rosen was making a lot of throws under pressure. He made some good reads. He showed good progressions on his pass play. So you could see it there. I just don't know if he's mature enough. He's always had that kind of that me attitude, even though all his teammates at UCLA said he was a great team player, but just seems like that. He seems like there's something different with Rosen. I don't know if he's an alpha male or what the deal is, but it just seems different. And luckily for him, though, Bradford's going to probably start the year as long as he doesn't get hurt, which is not going to happen. But Bradford.
DMX agrees. He's gonna get hurt.
Do you have DMX on speed dial?
Dude, DMX is a part of the show now, man. When like Jesse said earlier on the chats, he said, I get all my advice from DMX too. I mean, the guy's a role model. He's been in prison like 3 times. He has great lyrics, and he likes to play one-on-one. See? So how can you hate him?
I just cannot listen to his little voices and not start laughing. It's like Ja Rule.
Yeah. But Ja Rule is a Jason Ellis thing. So he's on Sirius XM. He does a lot of stuff. I'm not going to copy him. So I went with DMX.
Hey, I like it. Because of that, I'm a DMX fan.
Yeah.
DMX is my guy.
Yeah.
Oh man. But back to Rosen. He made some good throws. Hopefully they let him sit there. That's going to be the big thing with these rookie quarterbacks. Hopefully the teams let them sit, let them get accustomed to the NFL life. If any of them play, hopefully they don't get hurt. Hopefully they don't get pummeled because, like you said, in the NFL, these guys are fast. The defenses are complex. It's rough out there. Even with the new rules, it's rough out there.
All the penalties too, the lower the head, which is crazy. Does that offensive line scare you away from David Johnson a bit?
It does. It's weird. I don't know
here.
if it's just preseason hype or what's going on, but it's bad. It's the same thing like Barkley. Everybody keeps knocking Barkley because he has a bad offensive line. David Johnson's kind of in that same kind of area. He's going to get the touches. David Johnson, was the number 1 running back 2 years ago and just had a phenomenal season, but man, if you don't have anybody blocking, it's rough. So I don't know. Hopefully they get better. Hopefully they had some issues with that line they get fixed. But yeah, it kind of puts a question mark. When you're talking about a top 1, top 2, top 3 pick, he has to be automatic. There can't be any flaws with that guy you pick in the top 3.
Definitely.
Not at all.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's why you go Elliott over him. Josh Allen. Besides having the not top 10 play of the preseason so far, which was I literally want to play that that yakety sax song, like you can literally play that during the play. It's pretty bad. Again, look up Josh Allen preseason fail. You'll probably see it. But when he was throwing the ball down the field, he did throw a touchdown. What were your thoughts on Josh Allen in his start? Because I do think that A.J. McCarron is the first quarterback bench this year.
You know what? Josh Allen's my number 2 coming off to start because, like you said, on that touchdown throw, he really displayed why the Bills went out and drafted him. He has a live arm, strong arm, and when he made that throw right in the corner on that comeback, it just showed that it was between 2 defenders, and he just overpowered it. And you got to be excited when you see throws like that. Hopefully that whole little carnival, whatever he did on 4th down, I'll check it because it's 4th down. He had to do something, but it looked horrible. It looked bad. It looked like Anthony Zaragoza with 6 Modelos in the system trying to play pickup football. It was bad. Yeah, it was bad. Yeah. But outside of that, though, Josh Allen, he showed some tools that everybody was loving about him. Still, I think he needs time to develop. He didn't face the best competition at Wyoming. Not saying that's a big deal, but still.
He played Oregon last year.
And how did he do in that game?
I believe they lost like 42-14.
Exactly. Yeah, he didn't show out against some of these.
He
top
played Fresno
chickens.
State last year too. They also
Go
lost
Dogs.
that. They also lost that game.
Exactly. But the tools are there. Hopefully he sits. But like you said, A.J. McCarron's been a lifelong NFL backup. He's probably started 2 games, so it's not like it's going to take much for Josh Allen to start. So
That's true.
You'll probably see him in the mix, especially since the Bills are probably going to struggle. But they made the playoffs last year. I don't know how, but somehow they did.
Nathan Peterman and Tyrod Taylor combo. That's how.
It's that dangerous 1-2 punch, But so yeah,
I'm telling you, Tyrod Taylor is going to play this year with fire under his asshole. He is going to play hard, and he's going to not make it so Baker Mayfield can just rounce on in. So
look at his numbers. They're not bad. People act like this guy is just a backup quarterback, and when you look at the 32 starting quarterbacks in the NFL, he's in the middle batch. If not in the 20s. You're talking about a guy he is an adequate quarterback in the NFL.
Plus he can run, so points too. Wow.
The mobility, yeah. He gets slammed for whatever reason. I don't know what it is. It's weird.
He sounds like a car part, I got to get my tie rod fixed this week.
What kind of car do you drive where a Tyrod Taylor's in your engine?
It's a tie rod. I got to get him a tie rod fix. Tie rod stamp.
And when did you become from the South? Is what
Never,
I want to know.
no. Definitely a West Coast guy. That's right. Real quick, guys. Hey, Anthony, it's freaking draft season, baby. That's right. Fantasy drafts have already started this weekend, and they're going on to next weekend, and the weekend after that, and the weekend after that. 3 more weeks of drafting. And you don't want to be the guy who just shows up with your Yahoo printout that you printed 5 minutes before that has Hunter Henry and Darius Geis in it, because you will lose. You will lose. And do you want people to look at you and be like, you're a loser? Do you?
You are one pathetic loser.
You don't want that. You don't. That's why you got to go to fantasyalarm.com/Rouse. That's right. Use my name. See right there it says red. Go there. Because if you go there, you get 60% off instantly. It's a $40 draft guide. You get it for $16. Our rankings were just updated with the Geis news, with Hunter Henry news. Right when someone goes down, we fix the rankings immediately. So they're always live, always ready for you to win. It's the best draft guide there is. We got my player profile videos. Brandon Marianne Lee is up there with a ton of player profile videos. Howard Bender from Fantasy Alarm and the Fantasy Alarm radio show on SiriusXM is on there as well. And articles after strategies after articles after strategies. No matter what you play, no matter what you do, it's all there, guys. It's only $16. Don't go to your draft without it, and make everybody your bitch. That's right. That's fantasyalarm.com/Rouse. 60% off instantly. Help me out, guys, because I'm trying to beat these guys. And they have a show syndicated all over the world. Not me, just on Facebook. So help me out, guys. fantasyalarm.com/Rouse. Get your draft guide. If you're in a league this weekend, use it too. And I'll still beat you.
You're not going to beat me.
We'll see. You're right in front of me, which irritates me. By the way, I told Josh, I'm going to tell you too. I am going to beat everyone in this league. And my quarterback's going to be Blake Bortles and Case Keenum. Yes.
Who told you my draft strategy?
Who told you my? That's what's going to happen. What is going to happen. Anyways, guys, so we have the draft coming up on Friday. That's going to be at 8 p.m. We'll probably get live about 10, 15 minutes before, maybe even half an hour before, after we get everything set. We have a lot of setup and a lot of stuff we got to do. A lot of moving parts when you got like 4 people up in your studio trying to make a draft. We'll have the green screen going, so we'll have cool backgrounds. I can't fit everyone in this little area here. And we'll be live, guys. And sponsored by Pine and Palm Brewery, by the way. Check them out, pineandpalmbrewery.com. Great brewery, especially if you're in the California area. Look for them on tap at your local tap sources or pizza places. This is the best beer I've ever had, so check them out. It's pineandpalmbrewery.com. Oh, sorry, pineandpalmbrewing.com. Don't go to, actually, they both go to the same place, so no matter what. But check them out, guys. Best beer in Fresno, best beer in California, period. So check them out. So, draft next weekend. Real quick, you're the 5th pick. Who are you picking?
It's going to be between Antonio Brown and Alvin Kamara. It's that simple.
All right, Anthony, you got any call-outs you got to say? Anything you want to tell everyone out there in the radio land, TV
You know
land?
what? Just find me on Twitter at Zergoza Anthony. Got a lot of content coming out. Got some sleepers list coming out. And then also watch us Friday. Friday is going to be such an epic night. You're going to have me, Edward. You're going to have Josh Stanhill on there as well. We're gonna be
I think
drafting live.
Wade also will be there. He's in our draft as well, but he's going to be sideline reporting.
Oh, that's right. My good buddy Wade's going to be there too. It's going to be a load of fun, guys. And if you think the show is hilarious, wait till Friday night. It's going to be awesome. You're talking about Josh is drafting first, I'm drafting fifth, and Edward's drafting sixth. So we're all literally going to be just terrorizing each other's drafts all night. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. And the screen it'll be a split screen. You'll have Josh and Anthony on one side. You'll have me on the other by myself. And you'll actually have the live draft board from Yahoo in the screen as well, so you can watch it full screen. If you're watching on your phone, you may not be able to see too much, but you should be drafting if you're in the league. And just we're going to set it to 2 minutes per pick, so we'll have time to do our analysis, and everything during. And it's going to be a lot of fun. So watch it. It's going to be on all the social media channels, of course, and check out the replay. And we're going to be serious about it. We're going to take it as serious as we can. And if you haven't paid, because if you don't pay, then I may give your team to someone else by Friday. So pay. I think there's like 1 or 2 teams left that haven't paid. So pay. And if anyone auto drafts too, I'm gonna be pissed. So everyone be there. There's a reason. No auto drafting. So we'll have a good time next Friday. Please check us out. Again, we will be on the air at around 7:45 p.m. Pacific time on Friday the 17th this week before our next Monday show. So please feel free to join us. It's going to be a lot of fun. You can do a mock draft yourself. Join us. Maybe we'll take some call-ins. We're always answering questions on the chat. It's been going all night. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Thank you for calling in, too, and asking questions. It's a lot of fun, guys. This is a dream come true. And don't let everyone ever tell you that no matter what you want to do or anything, that you can't do it. And just, spend the extra effort and make things happen. Because making things happen is how you win your draft. So always, until Friday now, not Monday, on the live draft, have a good night. And always, always, always remember, that's right, have a good night.